Hi, it's Mr. Snyder from the Inglewood Library. I wanted to talk to you today about making a good presentation. Whether it's a video or a PowerPoint, there's some general guidelines that you should follow. In fact, I have 4 rules for making a good presentation that if you follow them, I think your presentation will be great. So our learning targets for this video will be that we will review presentation standards. We're going to learn a little bit about copyright, and we're going to see how you can search for images in Google. There are 4 rules for a good presentation. Rule number 1 is that you need to plan your presentation before you start. Even if it's a video or a PowerPoint, taking just a couple of minutes to plan before you begin will help make your presentation that much better. I know a lot of people just want to jump in with making something, especially a video, and then worry about the details later. But I think if you take just a couple of minutes to think about those details before you film them or put them into your presentation, everything will be great. So whether or not you make an outline or even just jot some ideas down on a piece of paper, take that time to plan your presentation before you begin. Rule number 2 is that if you're going to put text on the screen, whether it's a video or a PowerPoint presentation, make sure you're using minimal text on your screen. A lot of people want to put paragraphs and full sentences thinking that their audience can just read what they're talking about. If your audience can read the presentation, really there's no reason for you to be giving it to us. So instead, put really minimal text on the screen. This would be a slide talking about how to do some formatting in Word. Notice there's bullet points. There's not even complete sentences, just thoughts that I could say a lot about as I'm giving my presentation. So use minimal text on your screen. Rule number 3 is that if you're going to have color in your text or in your backgrounds, especially like on a PowerPoint, make sure you use colors that go together. Certain color combinations are ones you want to avoid. Certain color combinations you want to use. So red and green, it's not really a great combination. It looks odd. People also like to use a lot of pastel colors in their presentation. It makes it really hard for the audience to read. Instead, if you're going to use color, make sure you think about balance. Light colors, light font color should go with a dark background, or a dark font color should go with a light background. Classic combinations are blue with yellow. You can also think of different shades of the same color. So here is like a darker purple with a much lighter purple. A really classic, powerful combination is white text with a black background. Last, rule number 4, if you're going to use images in your film or in your PowerPoint, make sure you use images that are copyright friendly and cite them. Copyright friendly is really just about who made the image and about if they are letting you use it. As students and teachers, sometimes we think we can use any image we want to because we're making something for school, but it's not true. We have really specific rules we have to follow. So your best bet for using images in your presentation is just to use clip art. They're public domain. You don't have to cite them. You can use them any way you want to and as many times as you want to. If you can't find the image you want to on clip art, though, another option could be to go and use a database. Databases are a really good choice for finding images. We pay for their use here at our school, so you can actually use them any way you want to in your presentation for school. You do have to still cite the image, and you just follow whatever the citation guidelines are for that database. If you can't find images in clip art and you can't find images on a database, another option you might want to use is finding images on websites. And this is probably the most popular one, but it's the one that comes with the most risk. You're only allowed to use copyright-friendly images from a website. Copyright-friendly means that the author, the photographer, has said that this image can be reused in a lot of ways. They can be kind of tricky to search for. You still have to make sure you cite the image, and there's some guidelines about how you cite the images there. So let me show you. I want to talk a little bit about where you can find the images online. When you go to find these images online, of course, you want to use a search engine. Google and Bing are probably the 2 most popular search engines out there, and you can search for an image in both of them. However, Google is the only one that lets you search by the type of copyright that the image has. Because of that, I think it makes Google the best choice for finding images online. Now, let me show you how you can find a copyright-friendly image in Google. If I just go to a Google image search right here, so I'm going to try to find an image for a volcano. Type in volcano, and all the images come up. All these ones where the volcano is cut in half actually might be a really good one for my presentation. Before I use them, though, I have to make sure that the image I'm using is copyright friendly. To do that, I come over here to the top right-hand corner and I click on this gear. When I click on the gear, I'm going to click on Advanced Search. In the Advanced Search is where I can determine or where I can tell Google to only find images that are copyright friendly. So here at the top, I still have in what I searched for. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I can come down here to a box that says Usage Rights. Usage rights will tell me if the image is okay to reuse in any kind of presentation. So click on here and I get lots of choices from a very broad search to a very narrow search. So probably the one you want to pick is where it says free to use or share. So if I click on free to use or share, I'm going to click on advanced search again. And now, notice before I had 4 cross sections of a volcano, now I'm just down to 1. But that one could be the one I want to use. So make sure you're finding, of course, copyright friendly images. Now, when you are getting an image from a database, you want to make sure you put the name of the database below the image. If you're getting the image from a website, you want to make sure you put the URL of the image right below it. And there's a right way and a wrong way to get that URL. Let me come back here to my Google search. If I want to use this image right here in my presentation, of course I want to click on it. That puts the image kind of in the best format for it. And this one blew up really large, but I think it's going to be okay when I download it. I can't just come here and copy this URL at the top. I know it's the wrong one because, well, one, it's really quite long, and two, at the very beginning of it, it has the word, wow, that's a really long URL. Let's do this. It has the word Google right there at the beginning of it. Yeah, right there. There's the word Google. So one, the URL is too long, and two, it includes the word Google. That means it's really just the URL for the search I did. To get the right image and to get the right URL, if I click on the image one more time in my search, this will open it up to where the image lives online, and this would be the URL that I want to copy. So click on the image to get the right URL for it. So whatever you do, make sure you cite it, and make sure you cite it in the right way. So let's review the rules for a good presentation. Rule number 1, plan your presentation before you start. Rule number 2, have minimal text on the screen. Rule number 3, use colors that go together. And finally, rule number 4, use images that are copyright friendly and make sure you cite them. If you need any other help making a presentation or learning about how to cite images or other works for your presentation, just go to the IMS library page on Haiku. You'll find lots of support on there. Thanks very much and good luck.